is the weather in Dubai?
I am checking the weather for you. The current weather in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, is clear with a temperature of 23.5 degrees Celsius. Which currency you'd like to know?
Hey, can you check the Australian dollar?
I am finding the rate for you. The current exchange rate for $1 Australian dollar, AUD, is approximately 1.4206 USD.
Hello and welcome to High Level Techie. This is Jitin here, and today we are going to talk about GET request inside voice AI actions. If you ask me, I would say that this is one of the most important action inside your voice AI custom actions. Commonly, we use GET request to get data from a third-party platform. We can go read databases, we can go read weather data and so on. But you can actually do much more with GET request, and I'm going to show you how. And I will also show you how GET request works on some commonly available free API databases such as WeatherAPI, Exchange Rate API, and so on. And then I will show you how you can actually do some calculations, do some operations, and bring that output of that operation back into your voice AI agent using GET request. So this video and this GET request is really cool, and you can do a lot of things with your voice AI agent if you get this right. So let's get started and see how you can set all of this up for your AI agent as well. All right, so I'm going to create a new action here, and this is going to be a custom action. And inside this custom action, I'm going to select GET request or GET method, right? In the last video, you saw how to send POST request. Now we are sending a GET request. That is the main difference, and then everything else is pretty much similar. So first of all, we need an action name. In this first example, we are going to go get some weather data of any city around the world. So let's call the action name as GET weather data. And when should the custom action take place? When the user requests weather for a specific. Okay, so when the user requests weather for a specific location, this action would trigger, and then we need to say that I am checking the weather for you. And now we need to sort out the API endpoint URL. So for that, we are going to look into the API documentation for WeatherAPI. So if you go and sign up on weatherapi.com, you will get access to a free API that can give you details about the weather in any location around the world. You can read through the documentation. You can also use the Swagger tool and so on. So here I have the Swagger tool, and you can see this is how you need to pass the information or the query. So Q is the string of query that we need to pass. I think there's another page as well, which will give you a better idea. So here, if you go here, you will see here, this is going to be the URL that we are going to send. So this is going to be the endpoint URL that we are interested in. And then you need to add your API key here, and then you need to send your query of the town or city that you need the weather for. And AQI, if you're interested in air quality index, you can also get that information as well, but that is not required. So once you do that, you get a response back. We don't have a response here, but if you go here and you can see the response for, let's say, New York, you get the current weather in here, the current temperature, current conditions, and so on. You get all that details in here, and it also tells you the air quality if you select that to yes. So this is how you would get the response back, and this response you can use inside your voice AI agent in real time. So that is the beauty of using GET request inside your voice AI solutions. So let's see how we can implement the same inside our AI agent. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to copy this URL as it is, and let's go back to our agent and I'm going to paste it here, right? So again, we don't need the HTTPS, so I'm going to delete that. So here in this URL, what you see before the question mark is the actual endpoint URL. We can also keep the key, the API key, inside this URL itself. And then we need to get the query out into our variables, right? So if you want AQI, you can also send that across, but we are only interested in the location. So we will only be keeping the Q equal to London part of this URL. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this whole thing after the key, and where you see the equal sign, that's where you put your API key, right? So if you don't understand this and you want to set it up, you have to go into the API documentation and read through it, or you can ask ChatGPT or Claude or any LLM that you are using to give you an idea on how to implement this, right? So here I need to add my API key, which I'm gonna go and get it. So you can see I have my API key here. I just copied that and I'm gonna go here and paste that in. Now what we need is the parameter or the variable, and the name of the variable is Q. As you saw earlier, Q stands for query, and here what we're trying to capture for our query is the location as requested by the user. Okay, and an example would be, let's say Sydney is an example, and that is pretty much everything that we need. And now we can test this webhook and see if it is going to work or not. So let me click test webhook, and we have to have a sample data, and let's click on initialize action. And if everything works, you will see the status as success, and you can see we are getting results back. Now, if you select this result, you can select the whole response back into your agent. We might not need all of that. So what we can do is that we can go into the next page, and in here you get the country, you get the latitude and longitude, etc. Now if you go here and if you see here result.current, this would be the container in which you will find the current weather data. If you want to drill down even further, you can go to the next page and see the current temperature and current temperature in degrees Celsius, in Fahrenheit, and the current day, and so on. So if you want any specific information, you select that. But if you want a bunch of information, you select the top container. So if this doesn't make sense, all you have to do is go back to the Weather API and look at the structure of the response. You will see a container called current, and inside this, where the bracket starts, you will see the temperature in degrees Celsius, you will see temperature in Fahrenheit, and so on. So if you select result.current, you get everything that is part of this big container. But if you want to go further down and get granular data, you select results.current dot that specific value that you're looking at. So that is how you would go drill down into a JSON structure. But if you select the whole container, the result container, you will get access to everything that is here. But maybe that is too much data. We don't really need all of that. In that case, we will select only the appropriate one. So in this case, select current. But if you just want the condition of that place, you can also select current dot condition, and then you will get is it sunny or is it cloudy, and so on. So let's go back and look at that. So you see result.current would give you the whole container. And if you want to go further down, and if you want only get the current condition, you can select that. Then if you want to know what is the current temperature there, your AI agent wouldn't have that answer because you haven't selected those data. So depending on what you are building, you can select the appropriate output. So in this case, I'm going to select current, and then I'm going to click save, and we are good to go. Now we can test this out. And in order to test this, I'm just going to change my initial message so that it is easier. Instead of this, hey, what's the password, which we used for our post request, I'm going to say, what is the location are you interested in? Okay, so that's going to be my initial message. Hey, I can check the weather. Which location are you interested in? So that gives us our trigger immediately so that we don't have to wait for everything else, right? So I'm going to start this call.
Hey, I can check the weather. Which location are you interested in?
Hey, can you check Sydney, please?
I'm checking the weather for you. I couldn't retrieve the weather details for Sydney right now. A team member can assist you further if.
So I had to make a slight adjustment for this to work. So whatever you see here is correct. And then when I tested the webhook, and I had to select the results, the whole results, before my agent would tell the response back. So instead of selecting the current temperature or the results.current, I selected the whole container with the whole result, and it started working properly. So I will show you now. So I'm gonna click save here, and I'm gonna give a call now, and you'll see. So I'm gonna
Hey, I
give a
can check the
call.
weather. Which location are you interested in?
Hey, I'm looking to get weather in Sydney.
I am checking the weather for you. The current weather in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, is a light rain shower with a temperature of 23.5 degrees Celsius, 74.3 degrees Fahrenheit. It feels like 25.4 degrees Celsius,
So
77.7
what is
degrees Fahrenheit.
the weather in Paris?
I am checking the weather for you. The current weather in Paris, Île-de-France, France, is light rain with a temperature of 11.1 degrees Celsius, 52 degrees Fahrenheit. It feels the same at 11.1
Right. So
degrees
what's the
Celsius.
temperature or what is the weather in Dubai?
I am checking the weather for you. The current weather in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, is clear with a temperature of 23.5 degrees Celsius, 74.3
Okay, thank
degrees
you. That's all I
Fahrenheit.
need to know. Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye.
So you can see here, I just need to tell the location names and it is going to go and fetch the weather details for that location. All you have to do is simply ask about the location and AI agent can fetch the weather details for that location. So this is how you would set up get weather action inside your voice AI agent. So now let's look into one more example before we go into slightly more advanced stuff. So in this case, I'm gonna create another action to get the exchange rate, right? So it's called get get live exchange rate. And when should the custom action take place? When the user wants to know today's rate for a certain currency. Okay, so when I want to know about the current exchange rate for a currency, I can run this tool and this tool will tell me the current rate for that particular currency. And here the AI agent would tell that I'm finding the rate for you is what I want my AI agent to say. And then I'm gonna select get request here, and then we need to find the endpoint URL. So here I have another API. So this is called exchange rate API. It also gives you 1500 API calls every month. So I'm going to use that. So now if you go here, this is the request that you need to send. You need to copy this and let's go back to our agent and paste that in, remove HTTPS. And here your API key, I need to paste my API key. So I'm going to go back, get my API key, and I'm gonna paste the whole thing here. You will see now, you can see this is my URL, exchange rate, whatever, and my key and latest slash USD. All right, so here the difference is that you're not actually adding a variable or a query parameter, it's already embedded into the link. So we probably don't need this at all, so we can test this webhook and that, and we can run this webhook and then we get the results. Right, inside the result you will see that all these details, but what we are going to do, we copy the whole thing and click save, and we are going to change our initial message again, and we're going to say, hey, I can check the exchange rate currency you'd like to know. Okay, so I'm gonna say that, hey, I can check the exchange rate, which currency are you interested in, or something similar, and let's try this out.
Hey, I can check the exchange rate. Which currency you'd like to know?
Hey, can you check the Australian dollar?
I am finding the rate for you. The current exchange rate for $1 Australian, AUD, is approximately 1.4206 USD. Let me know if you'd like to check anything else.
Could you please also check Japanese yen?
I am finding the rate for you. The current exchange rate for 1 Japanese yen, JPY, is approximately 158.121 USD. Let me know if you'd like to check anything else.
What about what is in Dubai? What is the rate in there?
I am finding the rate for you. The current exchange rate for 1 United Arab Emirates dirham, AED, in Dubai is approximately 3.6725 USD. Let me
Thank
know
you.
if you'd
That's
like
all
to
for now.
check
Thank
anything
you.
else.
Bye.
You're welcome. Have a
So that's pretty cool. That was interesting because I wasn't expecting it to give the exchange rate for Dubai. AI agent was smart enough to understand that the currency in Dubai or UAE is actually dirhams. And then it went and ran this tool and it came back with the actual exchange rate. That's pretty cool. So now I hope you got an idea on how you can set up get request and bring in some information from outside into your agent and use that in conversation in real time, right? So that is the simple basic things that you can do. You simply call an endpoint and get data from that endpoint. But now what we are trying to do is that we want to do some actions. We want to do some operations, calculations on our data, and then we need to bring that output back into our conversation. So that is in the next lesson. I will see you there soon. Thank you for watching and bye.